It's on. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing out there? Welcome, welcome, welcome to Coffee Conversation. Hey, I am your boy D Rock. Happy Saturday. What's going on this weekend? Uh-oh, hold on. What's going on this weekend? How's the weather in your part of town? How is the weather going on in your part of town? Listen, I'm trying to still get set up, guys. Let you come on in. Listen, if you're joining me via Facebook, listen, I want to just say thank you for taking your time for joining me. If you are live with me on Zoom, by all means, I truly appreciate you. As always, I like to encourage you, like to chat up, talk to me. I like to know that you're alert and alive. Let me know how your week has been. What's your Saturday morning looking like? I know we on some different time zones. We got a lot of different things going on, and I just want to check in because I hadn't spoken with you guys for a while, man. And I'm just trying to stay connected, catch up. Truly want to say just thank you for joining me for Coffee and Conversation. As you guys know, we always look. Coffee and Conversation is always about reflection. It's being able to look back at some gains and losses of the last week. What's some things that we learned? Man, I'm burning. I gotta get out this top, guys. In Colorado, I don't know what the weather is this morning, but for the last week or so, we've been in below in the low tens. I think the last time I looked it was -9. Today we topping out right now at 25 degrees, and I'm hot. Goodness gracious. So let me get out of this here top. I hope your part of town is a lot better than ours. We experienced some tough weather. Prayers go out to those out there in Texas. Praying that you guys stay strong, stay safe. Seeing some of the powers coming back on. Some people out there doing some great things, trying to reach the community. So our prayers definitely go out to those families and those who may be experiencing harsher inclement weather than most. Nonetheless, let's get back on topic. Let's talk coffee and conversations, lessons learned for this past week. What's some things that you derived to this week? What's some things that you experienced? What's some things that you learned? What was the the lessons in those in this past week? What were some of the lessons in these past weeks? So for me, always in my planner, I have this planner. They really informative planner, really help you uh, uh, formulate your thoughts. Ask some powerful questions. At least I think they do, right? Ask some powerful questions to really help you uh, get to this place of self awareness, leveling up, get to the next level. Um, really help you formulate your plan for the week or for the day. Help you drive to success. And then at the end of the week, they got this large assessment, 2-page assessment that you go through. And when you fill out this assessment, man, you really get a bird's eye view of what your week looked like, right? And so oftentimes I don't fill out my assessment until after to the end of the day on Saturday, right? So yesterday I began to start filling out the assessment yesterday. And in answering these questions, I realized for myself, man, I said, man, the this gave me a better understanding about my week. Oftentimes when I reflect through the week, what I do is I go through all the week planner and I reread them. I reread them and I highlight those things that stood out to me, and then I make my assessment from that. Right? Hadn't realized that off the back of the planner had this assessment for me to really help me formulate my thoughts. So this week I'm using a portion of that assessment to bring you coffee and conversation to highlight my gains and losses. And the truth is, I have to tell you guys, when while we may have many gains throughout the week, the truth is, your losses will highlight your success. Your losses will, your limitations, the things that you found tough, the things that you found difficult to handle, to deal with, they will highlight your success. Why do I say they highlight your success? The truth is, there's no success without failure. The two go hand in hand. There's no success without failure. Hey, hold 1 second. Hey, babe, can I get a water, please? There's no success without failure. So you got to be able to get a better bird's eye view of what you're experiencing. You're experiencing the gains and losses. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Give me a second, guys. Good. So yeah, that's a lot better. So yeah, being able to highlight identify those successful moments, but also recognizing for yourself those things that limit you, the things that you kind of failed in. And can I be honest? In this past week, man, when I looked at this thing, while I had some great moments in the week, the truth was I've had some limitations, some struggles, some things that was really combating me, you know? So what's some mental stressors that we find for ourselves, you know, throughout our week, trying to gain the wins, trying to level up, trying to get to that place of success for ourselves? What's some of those things that's been are some of our hindrances? You know, for me, it's my thought process. My thought process. You know, I'm gonna say for number two, while my thought process maybe be number one, number two might be my eyes, the things that I see. Um, um, the yeah, I'm gonna address that up in a minute. The things that I see, number two, and then number three, my actions. Yep. So we're talking about, for me, some of the limitations, some of the struggles for success began with a mental process, began with what I saw or what I thought I saw, as well as my actions toward them, whether I tried to overcome them, whether I tried to learn something new, whether I tried to achieve the goal, however that may look, right? So the mental picture, the physical sight picture, and how you approach, what action did you approach in trying to achieve that level of success that you were looking for the week, right? And so just hold on to those thoughts, because I want to go over this thing, right? So question number one that it asked me in the planner is, name three great things that happened to me this past week. What were three great things that happened to me? You know, it's nothing like identifying your wins. It's nothing like talking about the great things that you succeeded in, right? And so the three things I identified for myself this past week was I was excited about the opportunity that I had to share with others, my nonprofit, Men of Vision Colorado. You know, I had a 30-minute presentation, was able to go share with some guys and gals about what the efforts and impact I try to make, or our nonprofit tries to make with helping ex-offenders, right? And so that was a wonderful moment in time for me, right? So that was one of my great things. That was a win for me, right? Next was I was able to connect with a pretty let's say prominent figure in the community. I got to connect with a prominent figure in the community. That was a great opportunity. Him and I were at a location together. I didn't have time to talk, but I did go by, introduce myself, and hope to be able to get in conversation with him. Sure enough, it opened the door. And we had a great conversation this past week. I was able to meet with him. So that was another great opportunity, right? And then I gained some clarity, in my studies. I don't know about you, but every day I'm trying to study to get better, right? I want to get to the next level. I want to enhance my understanding. I want to impact lives. So for me to impact lives, I got to continue to study. So I had a great opportunity to continue studying, And then lastly, and I actually put 4 things down versus 3, but I was able to speak with a friend who really gave me some encouragement, to keep pushing, to keep thriving, don't give up. Keep the big picture focus in mind. I know things don't look the way you might want them, but keep holding on. Your breakthrough is coming. That was 4 amazing things that happened to me this week, right? And then the question number 2 was, what was your main struggle that you faced with this past week? Well, it's amazing that the things that I highlight really help identify what my limitations were, because my limitation was that I was feeling right, make sure I can read my writing. I was feeling kind of I wrote funny here. Funny. My feeling. Oh, I was in my feelings is what I wrote. I was in my feelings. Yep, I'll be transparent. It says I was in my feelings watching others win. Yep, oftentimes everybody, people, when things are going great, we highlight what's going good, and we on the outside can be like, man, gosh, I wish that was me. I wish I was winning like that. Man, that's good. I've got to admit, now this wasn't a moment of me being jealous. This wasn't a moment of me having insecurity. I just want to win in life too. How many of us are just competitive like that we just want to win? We want to win in the things in life that we're working towards, and when others are winning and it doesn't seem like you having that win moment, it can be a little like, man, what about me? Hey, I know I've been out there driving too. I've been hitting the ball straight too. I've been catching the rock with you too. I've been running the race too. What about my wins? Hey, how can I win? I was in my feelings about my wins, right? Next. Now, the truth was, I'm happy for others that won, congratulate them, and kept them encouraging them, talk with a few personally, hey, man, listen, great job. I'm really excited for you. Can we talk? Can we talk about what's something that you might have thought you found you did different? Because I'm always looking for the new approach. I'm looking for the new avenue. I'm trying to be an innovative in how I show up for success. You know what I'm saying? Because oftentimes, maybe for myself, I'm wondering if I'm doing it right, if it's working out. Anybody who's wondering if what you're doing is working, you're trying to gauge, you're trying to measure, you're looking for the avenue of approach. You want to be sure that you are in alignment. You want to be sure that you're working the thing the right way. And so oftentimes for those who's winning, you know what? Let me check in with them. Let's talk. Let me find out. Let me hear what were some things that they did. Maybe they tweaked something. Maybe I can tweak something in my approach, So that was my outlook, right? So I was struck. That was part of what I've done during that struggle, right? But then I realized that in my efforts of being in my feelings, looking for the win in life, the question that dawned on me was, what made me think I wasn't winning? Yeah, what made me think that I wasn't winning in life? Because things didn't look like what it looked like for others. What made me think that I wasn't winning? And I had to ask myself that question. Well, who said I wasn't winning? Remember I said there was 3 things that I was dealing with? Yeah, my mental, my vision, and my actions. Yeah, boy, they all come together, don't they? Right? So listen, I had to ask myself, who said I wasn't winning? What made me think that I was doing something wrong? Why wasn't I in the right place? What made me think I wasn't in the right place? Why did I have to think that I was missing something? What's the questions that began to come to me when I started thinking about my struggles of the past week? What made me think that I was off in the wrong place? And so, in having an opportunity to talk with the prominent figure that I met, and gaining some clarity and perspective. Man, I'm gonna tell you, man, if you don't have this in your life, I'm gonna encourage you to go get it. Go find you some people that's gonna that see the winner in you. That's gonna encourage you to press past your doubt, what you think. Yep, they're gonna help you press past what you see. They're gonna help you put into action the very thing that you're passionate about. And so, coming into conversation with my man's, he said this, and I quote: he said, "Your experiences are natural. They are the natural courses to the building blocks for your success." Boom. Yep. What? Did you get that? Y'all want me to read it again? Yeah, I'm going to read it again for you. He said, your experiences are the natural courses. They are the natural courses to the building blocks for your success. In essence, in so many words, when he broke this thing down to me, he said, you got to go through this course. You got to experience this experience. You got to be able to know that whatever it is that God put in your heart, that dream, that vision, that not only had you written it down, but that you believe in it and you trust in it. And that you understand that wherever you are right now, that wilderness experience, that almost yep, you're in that wilderness experience. You're in this place where you feel alone. You feel like you're not sure if that's just, should I go this way? Should I go that way? Listen, let me help you guys. We all got to go through that wilderness experience to get to the place where God wants us to go. We got to go through that place. We got to go through that place. Think about it. Jesus himself went through that place. He was at that place where he had to go into the wilderness for 40 days and be tempted mentally. Oh, is it coming out? It's coming out, guys. He was tempted mentally. He wasn't only that, but wasn't even tempted with, but the enemy tempted him in his weakness. He didn't eat for 40 days. His very weakness was, well, turn the stones into bread. But how did he combat it? How are we combating? How am I combating my mental weakness? You know what I'm saying? I'm in this place and I'm watching others win, and I keep questioning the win in my life. That's a wilderness place to be. That's a lonely place to be, to question your wins in life. Am I winning? Who said I wasn't winning? Whoever said I wasn't winning? Because my win didn't look like your win. Yeah, I'm just trying to be real with you. So we got to go through this place, this wilderness experience, and realize that during this time you're being attacked in three areas. One, in your weakness. Yep. My weakness was my mental stability, how I was thinking. Two, you're going to be attacked in your commitment. Remember when the enemy told, yeah, make sure I wrote that right. In your commitment, when the enemy said to Jesus, trying to remember, what was number two? It was turn the bread into stone. The next one was, gosh, I can't remember now. Give me a sec. If you know what I'm talking about, type it in the chat. Talk to me. I know you somebody know. Command to turn the bread. Then he said, take him. Oh, then Jesus, then the enemy tempted Jesus with saying, "Hey, I want to give you. I'll give you this if you just go and worship me. Go worship me. Guys, I'm trying to get my bearings. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna slow down just a little bit for you. Let me slow down just a little because I need to get this out. He said, "Command the stones into bread." Yada, yada, yada. Okay, then it says, then the devil took him on a high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world. And in that moment in time, the devil said to him, all this authority I will give you, and the glory, for this has been delivered to me, and I will give to you if you wish. Therefore, I want you to worship before me And Jesus answered him and said, get thee behind Satan, for it is written that thou shalt not worship uh, another God. You should have God before you. Your commitment. What's your commitment to what God has given to you? Yep, I got my train of thought back, guys. Yeah. What's your commitment to what God has given to you? Has God showed you some things that the places that he wants to take you, that he want to help you to bring to fruition into your life? How he wants to show you how the impact that you can make, that you will make in life, if you can stay committed. Are you committed to this journey? Listen, I had to realize that I had to ask myself, what was my commitment level? Because it's so easy to want to give up. Anybody just wanted to give up during this race, during this journey towards the level of success that you're seeking for yourself, whether that's in entrepreneurship, whether that was even going back to school. Because I got to admit, even going back to school lead to some struggles, lead to some hardships. You know what I'm saying? Many of you may be seeking doctorate degree, master's degree. You got papers to write, 20-page papers to write. You got a family to tend to. You got a job to go work, and you still got to produce the requirements at the end of the week or within a couple of days, and you just felt like you wanted to quit. Maybe you on that journey and you're trying to start that business and you just felt like you wanted to quit. Every time you turn around, there was red tape. Maybe you're on the journey and you're watching everybody else look like they're succeeding, and you just felt like, man, I want to quit. Should I quit? You actually, even a thought might have popped in your head. Listen, ain't nothing but the enemy trying to keep you from obtaining what God has for you. Hold on to your faith. Hold on strong to where you're going. Trust and stay committed to what God has given to you. And that's the place I had found myself, that I had to realize that while I didn't want to quit, the truth was I knew I was committed, but some might find themselves lacking that ability to stay committed. And I encourage you that, listen, the enemy is going to try to attack your weaknesses. He's going to want to know if you're committed to this journey towards success. And I had to say to myself, listen, no matter what it may look like, I am committed. And then third, realize this, that the enemy come to steal your understanding. I like to say it probably much a little different. Your identity, as well as your understanding, your identity of who you are in Christ, who you are, who God has called you to be, right? And so in scripture, it talks about how the enemy took Jesus up to the highest plateau and told him to jump. And listen, if you jump, you know what? Don't worry about it. The angels will save you. At least you may do is hit your foot against the rock. But don't worry, God will send his angels, because he said in his word that he keepeth that which concerneth him, right? And Jesus responded with this, and which was kind of interesting to me, because I had never looked at it like this, right? He said that you shouldn't test the Lord your God. And so when I thought about it, I said, why did he say you shouldn't test God? Listen, while your test is being being tested, you can't try to put God in a position to show up for you. You're not winning in life, so God, I need to show up. You can't test God to make him show up for you. He said, don't test God. Why not? Why don't test God? Because it ain't necessarily that God gonna show up. God has already ordained for you what the outcome. You just got to trust and believe in the outcome. It's no need to jump off into the limb of trying to make things happen for yourself or try to make God show up in your life. The truth is, you just got to be firm enough in your belief, in your knowledge and understanding of what God said about you and what he says in his word. Man, that's a powerful place to be, So when I thought about it, 3 areas in life that we attacked at in this area of growth, in this area of development and success, trying to level up in success, is that of weakness, which was my mindset, my vision, being greedy, because that oftentimes you see what others have, and then you kind of want it. That lust of the eye feeling. Listen, stop all that. Stop lusting after what others have or where others are in life. Get hold of where God has you at and trust that place, because that doesn't mean because somebody else uh, uh, banked a bankroll or secured a gig that you're not winning in life. It doesn't mean that you're not winning. And so your perspective mentally and visually, change your perspective on how you see things and realize that, hey, oftentimes the very place you are is a win. And last, hold steadfast to who you are and in your understanding for what God is leading you. Because it's so easy to be derailed. It's so easy to jump off into the deep end of things. And then you scream and ask God, save me, help me, when you shouldn't have never jumped in the first place. You understand? So don't jump if the God didn't say jump. If this is not the place of movement for you, because oftentimes, much to what my man said to me, that you are, where are my notes? There we go. That you are, what you experience is the natural course. It's the natural course for building you and taking you into your purpose. If you ever, I don't know, most preachers stop at that scripture when sharing this, right? But there's something powerful that happens at the end of this scripture, and that is that was Jesus being able to walk into his purpose, go into the synagogues to begin to preach and the gospel of truth to others, right? And the people in the synagogue began to ask themselves, who in the world is this dude? Ain't he the carpenter's son? Oftentimes when you go through this place in life, this wilderness experience, this struggle in life where you're being tested, where your faith is being tested, it's really to refine you. Yep, to refine you, to bring you out on the other end of your God-given purpose. See, when Jesus was able to go through that for 40 days, not only did he come off the top of the mountain and go out and powerfully proclaim his purpose for what God has called him to, but you too are going to have to go through that experiences. You're going to have to go through the wilderness experiences. You're going to have to identify those real struggles in life for yourself. What's those things that's keeping you hindered mentally? What's those things that you keep seeing, or your perspective? What's your perspective on some things that's keeping you hindered from staying firm or true to the dream or vision for yourself? What's the things in life that you're gonna have to say, hold on, I trust this path. I stay true to the understanding in which God has called me to, and walk in it. Just be at that place. Listen, this past week just kind of helped me realize this, and I'm gonna close out with this, guys. Is that that two things I learned from myself this past week is, one, that I must continue to grow. Yep. And I must grow intentionally. Intentional growth, right? Gotta have intentional growth. And secondly, that no matter where I am, ensure that I stay connected with people that believe in me, the vision. My man just heard the vision about, we talk for about 30, 40 minutes, and he briefly heard the vision. He briefly heard the vision. And he was sold. He was like, yo, I'm rocking with you. I'm gonna help you. We're gonna put some things together, and we're gonna help you get through this journey. But I need you to understand that where you are, you have to go through this place and trust the process. Just trust the process. Keep moving through it, right? And so for myself, just connect with people who are gonna believe in you, who are gonna encourage you to greatness. That's my word to you guys. Get to the place of continually growing intentionally in your life, and connect with those who are going to encourage you to continue to grow. Yeah, that's powerful. So I want to leave you with these three. I left you with 3 points to realize that you're going to be, one, attacked with your weakness. Realize that in your attack of your weakness, where's your commitment lie? And 3, ensure that you trust where God is taking you and understand what God has called you to. But I want to help you with this growth piece, right? Because I want to give you real quick 4 things to help you intentionally grow, right? So be one, intentionally grow means that you got to make up the mind to intentionally grow yourself. Continue, intentionally read a book and intentionally turn the TV off, intentionally put the phone down, intentionally develop yourself, right? And in making that commitment to intentionally grow, realize that you got to make that public. You got to tell some people. You got to share it with 1 or 2 people, because it's something in your confession. You being able to say the things, speaking those things, which isn't as though it is, and speak it. So you'll be able to follow through. Because when you tell 1 or 2 people what you're doing, guess what? They looking. They want to see, right? 3, and this is the probably most important one. I want you to be able to identify the areas in which you want to grow. So for me, areas that I want to grow, one in one area I want to grow in is personally is an area of choices. Like, what I mean by choices, my attitude, that's a choice. My decision making, that's a choice. Those are areas that I want to learn to grow in. A second area I want to grow in is in my skills, that thing that I feel that I'm good at. Whether that's leadership, whether that's coaching, I want to grow in that skill. So I want to continue 2 things I want to do: grow in an area of choice, in an area of skill. Take some time out, hour a day, and just work in those areas of growth. Study something, learn something. You'll be surprised what you find in a good book. I promise you, you'll be surprised what you find in a good book. I'm gonna drop this, and I'm gonna close out. I was reading a good book. I was reading the story of Esther, and that was the first time I read Esther numerous of times. Right? It was the first time that I actually saw conflict management solutions in the book of Esther. I'm just saying, guys, the good book showed me conflict management in the book and its solutions. You know what I'm saying? So you have to learn in an area of grow in an area of choice and an area of skill. And you can do that by reading. You can find small, what they call those things, podcasts or blogs, that's the word I'm looking for, or blogs, and study them, man, because people got some real good stuff out there. And lastly, just invest in yourself, man. Be firm in who you are. Trust where you're going. um, don't allow the enemy to steal from you what God is trying to bless you with. Don't allow you. And if you fight with it mentally, listen. Get hold of your thoughts. Put your thoughts in captivity. If you fighting it with it visually, with your vision, with the lust of the eyes, the pride of life, listen. Get those things in captivity. Grow to that place of strength for yourself. Realize and recognize that, hey, this is not who I want to be. This is not what I desire to be. And be honest with yourself. I think it's okay to be honest, to say, hey, listen, I screwed that all the way up. And I honestly thank God that I didn't have I wasn't jealous. I wasn't hating, but I did ask the question like, yo, what am I doing wrong? And the truth is, oftentimes you're not doing anything wrong. You have to walk the course. You have to trust the course that you're in, and grow. It's nothing wrong with growing and learning yourself. Guys, I'm gonna leave you with that, man. I don't know if I went over on the time, but I want to say I truly appreciate you guys taking the time with your boy today. I truly appreciate it. As always, check your boy out. I'm trying to get back on live, something I have been away from since the 21-day success builder. I want to encourage you. Listen, I got some slots open, man. I'm trying to, and the truth is, I want to give out a few free slots, man. So, yep, I'm gonna give out 3 free slots, man. I got 3 free slots for you guys. First, individuals reach out, setups. Go ahead, Schedule your 30-minute free consulting or coaching call with your boy, discovery call with your boy today. Let's talk. Let's grow. Let's see how I can help you. Let's see where you some areas in life that you may be struggling, and realize that, you know what, your boy gonna be transparent. I don't have it all together. I'm still growing and I'm still learning, but that doesn't mean I can't help you level up, man. And I think when you can get into a community of people that really working to grow and learn together, man, the next level can be just as much more powerful. Too many of us are out here trying to do this thing on our own, and doing it on your own. Can I be honest, man? You can get stuck, you can get complacent, you may even want to be able to quit. But I encourage you, get hold of your boy. Go over to DwayneHRoberts.com, schedule your free 30-minute discovery call. I got 3 free slots for the first 3 individuals that can meet the criteria, really serious about growing and learning themselves. And let's grow and learn together. As I always say, guys, success is in your hands. It's up to you what you do with it. I want to say thank you and God bless.